Right now, there's an absolute frenzy happening in the world of artificial intelligence. It really is a modern day gold rush, high stakes, moving incredibly fast. And today, we're going to break down what a single day on this new frontier actually looks like, just by looking at a few recent headlines. So let's get started by following the money. Okay, look at this number, $15 billion. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. What do you think that represents? Maybe the budget for a small country? A massive government project to build a new particle collider? Nope. It's the amount of fresh cash that a single venture capital firm just raised to pour into the tech world. You have to understand, this isn't just money, it's rocket fuel. And figuring out where this capital is coming from is the first step to understanding the entire AI race. To really see where this AI gold rush is headed, you have to follow the money. And right now, what we're seeing isn't a trickle, it's a flood. So the firm behind that $15 billion number is Andreessen Horowitz, or A16Z, as pretty much everyone in the industry calls them. They just closed this huge round of funding, and it brings their total war chest to a mind-blowing $90 billion. A huge piece of this is specifically for growth stage companies, and you can bet a massive portion of that is going straight into AI. And just to put that into perspective, this year, A16Z alone managed to capture over 18% of all U.S. venture capital. I mean, that is an enormous slice of the pie. It shows they're not just playing the game, they are actively shaping the entire market, making these huge bets on what they believe is the future. And that future, overwhelmingly, is AI. Okay, so you've got the fuel, billions upon billions in capital. But what's it actually for? Well, it's being used to build and then defend the massive engines of this new AI era. You know, building an AI model isn't just about writing clever code. It takes an incredible amount of physical infrastructure. Just look at this deal between OpenAI and SoftBank. They're dropping $1 billion into SB Energy, not to write algorithms, but to build out specialized green-powered data centers. This tells you everything. The next generation of AI doesn't just need better software, it needs a whole new power grid to even exist. So once you've spent all that time and all those billions building these incredibly complex models and the data centers to run them, you've created an extremely valuable asset. And, of course, anything that valuable, you've got to protect. Take a look at this headache that Anthropic is dealing with. They're one of OpenAI's biggest competitors. They built this amazing coding tool called Claude Code, but other apps figured out how to spoof it. They're basically wearing a digital disguise, which tricks Anthropic's system into thinking they're a legit user. This lets them get free access and completely bypass the rules. It's a perfect example of the constant cat and mouse game between innovation and security. But you know, this isn't just a squabble between companies trying to build and defend their tech. The AI frontier has become the stage for a really fierce, high-stakes global competition. Let's take a look at who the main players are. So here you have the lineup. In one corner, you've got the American heavyweights, OpenAI with its famous GPT series and Anthropic with its Claude models. But making huge strides is DeepSeek, a major AI lab out of China. This is not a two-horse race, not by a long shot. This is a global contest for who gets to dominate the next era of tech. And here's where it gets really interesting. There were reports trickling out that DeepSeek's next model, V4, isn't just catching up, it's actually beating its American rivals in very specific coding tests. This just goes to show you how fast the leaderboard can flip and why the pressure to keep pushing forward is so intense. Okay, so we've got the capital, we've got the infrastructure, and we've got this global race. But what's the point of it all? What is the prize that everyone is chasing in this AI gold rush? Well, it's about a lot more than just building a better chatbot. This is Boltz, and Boltz is a perfect example of the prize. They're not trying to win some coding benchmark. They are using AI to solve one of the biggest challenges in all of science: how to discover and design new medicines. This is where the abstract world of AI models crashes into the very real world of human health. So their whole strategy is to build these powerful AI tools that can understand the fundamental building blocks of life, things like proteins and small molecules. And here's the cool part. By making these tools open source, they want to supercharge drug discovery for everybody, from university labs to the biggest pharma companies on the planet. And as you'd expect, a mission this big needs capital. Boltz just pulled in $28 million in its seed round. Now that is a ton of money for a company that's just getting started. And it shows you just how much conviction investors have in AI's potential to completely revolutionize science. And guess who led that funding round? A16Z. And just like that, our whole story comes full circle. That massive $15 billion fuel tank we talked about at the beginning, it's not just sitting in a bank account. It's being strategically injected into companies just like Bolt's, fueling the engines that are pushing us toward brand new scientific frontiers. So when you look at what can happen in just a handful of headlines, you see the picture of this gold rush pretty clearly. It's defined by unbelievable amounts of capital, incredibly fierce competition, and world-changing ambitions, which really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. With what seems like infinite money and a global race to the top, is the next great AI breakthrough just inevitable? Or will the staggering cost of building and defending these systems end up being the one thing that gets in the way?